4. 13, you getting this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Mic check.
How are you all?
Good, how are you?
Good,
Hi.
thank you. Welcome to Lubbock.
Well, you welcome to Lubbock.
Thank you. That's still a yet. You have to get a laugh out of that yet.
Maybe you should change your joke.
Maybe I'll
a
try
little.
it.
Just saying.
64 times though straight. No
I
lie.
know, right?
But at least you caught on. Thank you. That's good.
This feels really loud. Is this loud?
Yeah, it is. Forgive us for these. I'll try to do this, but in the day of social media and everything, we use this a lot. We'll reuse it a lot. Questions, answers. I don't know if you. We should have talked about this before. Have you ever played here? I got to play the fraternity thing, the Pikes Fest. Thank you. Yeah, about 100 years ago. You'll look out in the crowd and you'll see guys my age. Those were the guys I was playing for then, when they were in college. So it was pretty cool. So I get to come back to school again. Played everywhere around here, but what a beautiful facility. We just got here about 15, 20 minutes ago. So just walking around and seeing everything. I got to tell you personally, for my sake, I'm extremely excited to be here. Just from I have the easiest gig on the planet anyway. Playing in Texas makes it 10 times easier. It's just, it's like, I don't know.
And you step off the plane, you just take a breath of air, and you're like, okay, everything's good.
Yeah, this is like coming home. From Oklahoma, amazed how much this state has let me be like an adopted son of theirs. So this will be a lot of fun. Just gonna have a good time here. That's kind of what we do. Sonny Sweeney will be opening the shows here when we have openers on the 2-show day sometime, because getting people in and out, trying not to make people wait, we might start the show without an opener and just get started. So that's always a kind of a crapshoot on what that goes down, and you kind of make the call that moment. I told her to go ahead, or we told her to go ahead, and if she wants to book somewhere Saturday night, fine. If she wants to come hang with us just in case, or just be part of the band and crew. She's a doll. She's easy to get along with. She's our kind of people. Just a hard worker and just really funny. Doesn't take herself serious, but she has a serious talent. That's a sweet thing to have in a partner. And that's about it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're just excited about the show. We'd rather, you have been to a show, and then we talk about it, because then hopefully we could say, it was awesome.
Yeah, if we did this tomorrow, we'd have a lot better plan on what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. You drop the ball, you play the game. And what I'm expecting is I'm expecting a lot of stupidity. I'm expecting it to be loud. I'm expecting it to go way too late on a weeknight. And so this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. So if you don't mind, we're much better at talking with you than talking at you. So we love questions, and you can't have enough of them. The only thing we ask is if you ask a question, if you please identify yourself so we'll know who we're talking to. Please. Yes, sir.
Hey, James,
Hey.
534.
Hey, James.
Welcome to Lubbock.
Thank you, sir.
You're bringing the biggest tour in the world to West Texas. Why'd you choose Lubbock?
I think it's just all about fun. You get to a certain age, you'll know this in about 40 years. You get to a certain age where you just don't want to be around people that are buttholes, if I can say that. And you just want to have fun. That's all you want to do. And this place, for me, has always been, this area, West Texas, Amarillo, has always just been a place that was just a blast. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I thought we were done with Texas. When I saw Lubbock come up on the thing, because they don't tell me anything because they know I'll blab it.
True story.
So they tell me about three cities out. When I saw Lubbock, you could have heard. She goes, "What in the hell's wrong with you?" I said, "We're playing Lubbock. I can't. It's like Disneyland for a country music artist to come here and play." So Ben Farrell, the guy that heads all this, he's as tight-lipped as anybody I know, and just pretty amazing. So this was fun. We don't route anything, so it didn't make the fact that we're going to New Mexico the next week on a regular tour would make sense. With this route, we were in Boston one week, Portland the next, so we don't route anything. So this was a huge surprise for me. It was a huge surprise for the people buying tickets by the way they responded, and that hopefully makes for a big fun party kind of weekend. Yes, sir. What is your first name, sir? Abner.
Yes.
Have we met before, sir?
No.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. First of all, Trisha, congratulations on the Emmy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
you pretty much saying, and it's the company that have
Mhm.
on my second half of my career.
Sure.
How has it been? How do you feel about the reception you've gotten, live shows and everything?
Which way do you want to take it? You want to take it personal, or you want to take it data-wise? Personally, you kidding me? Greatest gift I ever received in my life was just to get to go home and raise my babies. Because of God and the people, we were financially set to go home and raise the kids. And I got to tell you, there's not a parent on this planet that wouldn't have made the same decision if you could financially do that. So it was very sweet. And but I'll be honest, when you said goodbye, you thought it was goodbye. Because this is a tough business. There's people that work in this business. They know. They've seen the faces come and go. And once you're gone, you don't get to come back. So the second greatest gift I ever received in my life was to ask, hey, could it be possible? Miss Yearwood saw it coming. My mom had a really hard problem with empty nest syndrome, really hard. I'm the last of 6 kids, so I saw it firsthand. She saw it coming with me. First one left, it didn't seem that different. The second one, when it got down to one, it was like a morgue in the house. And that poor girl was trying to sign up for every after-school activity she could so she didn't have to, come home, be with the
We're like,
old.
you want to hang out? She's like, no.
So she said, would you ever think about touring again? I said, well, I would, but with the people. And damn, it's been awesome. Yes, ma'am.
My name's Terry. I'm with KLBK, a local CBS affiliate.
Miss Terry.
Why is the history of country music so important for you to teach to the younger generation?
Wow. Do you want to start?
Well, I mean, my answer would be it's everything. I grew up on my parents' music. Stay put.
If we're doing sound, you can just drop this way down.
Yes.
Thank you.
So they schooled me on Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn and Tammy Wynette and Hank Williams, Ernest Tubb, the early stuff that they grew up on, that they loved. And then that introduced me to what was modern day country music at the time, which was George Strait and Ricky Skaggs, Reba McEntire. And I threw in my own influences from my friends like Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris, and with fiddles and steel guitars, who were also heavily influenced by country music. So for me, especially coming at it from being a member of the Grand Ole Opry, which we both are, what I love about the Grand Ole Opry is there is a great love for all things new and everything that's coming and everything that's changing, but there's also a great respect for what came before. And so, I feel like it's a responsibility as a country music artist to make sure that everybody that comes after us knows what our parents taught us. Whether they like it or not, to have a respect for it.
I was raised on Haggard and Jones. I think every generation thinks their guys are the coolest. So my dad's was Haggard and Jones. I thought Strait was 10 times cooler than Haggard and Jones was great. You asked George Strait that question, who's cooler? You ask Garth Brooks, when you talk about this generation versus the past, I'm a punk. Understand? I'm half, and that's bragging, I'm half the guy that Haggard is, half the guy that Jones is. So these kids need to know that stuff. So at some point this weekend, and Texas is kind of an exception because you don't need to teach these people about country music. They know their stuff. But in other places, we'll stop and say, hey, look, you guys that don't know Keith Whitley, you need to hear one of the greatest voices ever. You guys that don't know Randy Travis, just look at the one man that solely saved country music. There he is. Chris Ledoux. You can go down the line, all the way. So I think that's why it's important, because my dad had this saying, you'll love this saying. My dad had no filter. He said, just because you're the best of what's out there, bud, doesn't mean you're worth a shit. That's it. You're competing with the past, the present, all that stuff. So you can be the best of this time right here and still not be any good. But you know what is good. You know Haggard, Jones, Buck Owens, these guys. And that's what I want my babies to make sure that they know, and all the kids their age. Yes? Yes, sir.
Garth, I'm Mark Richardson with KBST Radio in Big Spring.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, we were humbled that you gave small little Big Spring a radio interview, so much so that I asked you about lasagna sandwiches. You already know you're the best entertainer in the world. We want to know what your life is like. What is it about you and Trisha that makes you willing to reach out to small little markets like Big Spring, Texas, in KBST, and spread the word and tell us what you're doing? I mean, that's a special kind of person.
Mr. Sherwood, as an artist and you're driving your truck, does it matter if it's Chicago or Big Springs, Texas, when it comes on the radio and it's your song?
No.
That's the greatest feeling in the world, is just to get to hear your songs on there.
We both started with the same manager too, so we've always had that. I guess that's the way it was from the very beginning. If somebody wants to talk to us, we want to talk to them, you know, and so that's kind of the way it's always been. I know on the tour with you and Ben Farrell, having worked together for so many years, that's the way you do it.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, you can land in this place, you can do the math on tonight, and the first thing out of your mouth is going to be, where in the hell are all these people coming from? Well, where they're coming from are the small towns. This is what I love about our tour, what I love about Teammates, it's being a part of something bigger than yourself. That's what this is. Am I disappointed that we didn't sell 42 shows here? Yes. Am I tickled to death we sold as many shows as we did here? Hell yeah, I am. So there's that thing, somebody might say you're never satisfied, but the truth is, because of those relationships with all those radio stations, big and small, they all come to this area, and tonight get ready to see what you're going to see. All our petty differences, all these things that we squabble and fight about all the time, are going to go out the window. We're going to be one, and these people are going to sing their ass off, and I'm going to sit there like Tom Sawyer just laughing, going, I'm working you like a rented mule, and you're paying me. You know, it's the easiest gig on the planet, man. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Sarah.
How is touring together different than just being at home together? Or is it?
Well, I still get up first. I turn on the fog machine in the morning, and he comes up through the floor, you know, the hat and the headset
Wow.
mic, and
Wow. So, yeah,
very
bullshit's the same at home as it is here, you know? Yes.
I'll speak for myself. It's just that we made a decision when we got married. It'll be 12 years this year, that we wanted to be together. We didn't want to be together to be apart. And so this was when Garth was retired and we were living in Oklahoma. I was still touring a little bit. I had really pared my dates down, but I was still touring some. And it was always bittersweet because I have wanted to sing since I was 5 years old. So the opportunity for me to sing is what I've always wanted to do. So packing your bags to get to go and do what you love, but leaving behind the person that you want to be with is bittersweet. And the cool thing about this tour is that we enjoy our time at home. We also, we're not home a lot these days for this tour, but when we're packing our bags to go on tour, we're leaving together. So he can tell you that I would get kind of quiet and angry the night before packing to leave, even though I was going to do what I love to do. Don't do that anymore, so that's good.
Yeah, I gotta say it's the same. Truth is, people ask, you know, where do you want to finally end up living? Where do you want to spend the rest of your days? I'm from Oklahoma, love that place. We live in Nashville, love that place. With that said, wherever this woman is, that's where I want to be. I don't care if I like where we're at or not. As long as I'm with her, then I'll be fine. Yes, ma'am. I'm Miss Bailey. Yes. They wished that we'd have gone back on tour about 10 years earlier. Bailey, I don't know how you look like you're about the age of my babies, and Miss Sherwood said it best. I'm so proud to say we were at every practice, never missed a birthday. We were at every soccer game. They tell the story, oh my God, they were at every soccer game, you know. So I think you see two different tales of it. I think what they've done to me is they've made me more grateful. They've made me more thankful. They've made me understand that I am nowhere near the boss I thought I was. And I am nowhere near in charge like you think you are. Every day you turn it over to God. That's all you can do. And I'm telling you right now, when the last one moved out of the house, when all three of them were gone out from underneath my control, God was like, dude, shut up. I got it. Okay? Because that's all you can do as a parent at that point. It's just pray, 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 pray. And so I think that's it. I just think eating every second, enjoying every taste of life is what they have brought to me. And seeing it through their eyes is pretty cool, because they're not, what's a good word for not being stupid? You
They're
know,
not stupid.
they're not stupid. These guys are sharp. So if they're bringing up something that's against what I think, because I love them so much, I want to listen to what that is. And then I go, well, why in the hell don't you do that for everybody else on the planet? That helps me. So it's pretty cool.
And
I hope that
they're
answered your
grown and
question.
they're flying on their own, so they're happy that we're on the road because they're all living their lives. They're doing their thing.
And when they come out to see us, it's pretty cool now. So
But
when
they miss us.
Yeah. It's neat. Yes, sir.
Garth, Trisha, either one of you. Anthony put an interesting segment.
Hey, Anthony.
in Amarillo. There are people that will see 100 of your shows that have been watching you for 20 years plus. But for that person who comes to see you one time and one time only in life, what does that mean to you? Do you ever think about that?
That's 99% of the people you're going to be playing for. Not because they didn't like the show. No, it's just how it is. I mean, how many people have seen anybody in this place more than once, you know? So you get one shot at it. You get one shot at it. Anthony, your family pretty stable? Yeah, okay, good. Well, I come from redneck, white trash, whatever you want to call it. Every Thanksgiving ended up in a fight. Somebody went out the window, the cops were called. I mean, that's our family, okay? We're very physical, loud, and the fight usually started over something stupid. But if that fight is ever who has the best concert, you want your name at that table. That's what you want, right? And that's what you want. So when people leave here, the goal for me, I can't speak for her, but the goal for me is they look at that ticket, they look at that price and go, you know what? If this cat comes back, I'll be here. That's the whole goal. So you're very aware of it as you go, that you've got one shot.
I will add to that, because I've seen a lot of Garth shows, and I've also, I'm out there myself, and I think about it every single night. I definitely think about the fact that I may have sung She's in Love with the Boy 7,000 times, but somebody's hearing it for the first time tonight, and somebody, that's what they came to hear. Even though, there's a room full of Garth fans, I know there's somebody that's there that just came to see me. So I think about that in my head because I want to make sure that they get what they came for. And then I watch the rest of his show after I'm done with my set, and I would never, there's never a bone in this man's body that says, I did a good show last night. I'm gonna kind of let it go tonight. It's 110% every single night because of that, and people who've seen the show 100 times feel like they're seeing it for the first time. It's pretty special.
She brought up a good point. There's going to be people that just come to see her. My job is to steal those people from her. Okay? There are people that's just going to come to see Garth. Her job is to steal them. Unfortunately, she's more successful in her job than I am. But because if you watch the show, you're going to, that's the highlight of the show. I hate saying that. Every night I go out to get it. I think I'm going to get it. And like tonight, I've seen the show. We did our 300 show last weekend. I cried at this point in her show. I do I'm just talking about it now. It kills me. It's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see when it comes to music and the people that allow an artist to be an artist. You know? Yes, ma'am. Hi, Miss Jan. How are you?
Go ahead, honey.
I can answer for her. You're very lucky when you find somebody that loves you 1,000 times more than you love them, is what she should say.
Wow.
I am head over heels for this woman. So just getting to be with her, getting to be in the same room. We don't have to be doing anything. She can be binge watching, Bloodline, and I can be over there looking up tractor parts. But I'm breathing the same air she is. I know exactly where she is. And that's everything to me. So I think just spending time with them is something that's cool. I can't imagine.
We laugh a lot. We laugh a lot.
We do.
We're goofy. One of the things I love best about the show that Garth did in Vegas, the one-man show, was that before that, everybody would always ask me, he just seems so serious all the time. And I'm like, he's such a goofball. Like, nobody knows this piece of him. And I think the Vegas show, because it was him and a guitar and a lot of talking about his life, let people get to know him better. And so it's not just that he's loved my life. I like him. You know, we enjoy each other's company. We're just that, you know, I most of my songs are kind of depressing, love gone wrong songs, and I'm really happy. So it's kind of silly. But I love those songs. So I really kind of thought this kind of sappy thing was like didn't exist, but it's real. I like you.
Yes, sir. Hey, Sean. Oh, that's easy. She's. If you look at pictures and you can see them like in cookbooks and stuff, if you look at that 5-year-old little girl, there she is, and she's never changed. With all the good and bad that comes in. Sometimes when we fight them, you're immature, you know. But what I love about it is she still believes. That's a sweet thing. I wish I still believed, you know. She still believes, and because of that, you don't want to disappoint her. And there's nothing better. You know, all her pictures, I wish she was right here. I wish she would. All her pictures, you know, she's all drawn in and sexy and all, you know. The greatest shot of her on our wedding day, Steve Warner cracked a joke. And she smiled this big open mouth smile, and she's always protective of herself that way. And that's my favorite picture of her in all her life. It's just her laughing uncontrollably. And that might be, again, because you want to please her so bad because she's your partner, you know. But I think that's my favorite thing about her. She's just still, well, it's my favorite and my not favorite thing about her. She's still 5 years old, if that's fair.
Wow. So anyway, after
Is that
therapy,
right?
well, yeah, thank you.
Isn't it amazing how in relationships the thing that draws you to somebody might be the same thing that makes you want to kill them?
Yeah,
You know?
so I'm just going to save my answer. No, it is a tough question for me because there are a lot of things. But the word that came to mind when you asked the question was generosity. I've said this to him before. Sometimes I think that he is generous to a fault, and sometimes, you know, because he loves people, sometimes he gets taken advantage of because he's so generous. He has such a big heart. But my thing that I've always said to him is, if that's your biggest fault, if your biggest fault is that sometimes you're a little gullible and you're too nice, that's okay. You know, I think truly, having known him for how many years now? 30 years.
Since '88. Yeah.
I always thought nobody's this nice. You know, the other shoe's got to fall at some point, and he really is who he portrays himself to be. He's a nice guy.
I just need to get through the end of this tour, then that other shoe. She's gonna feel it. I know your
Can't
question.
wait.
Did anybody get a question that they need to get? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Talking about the basketball guy. That's tough because, you know, he hasn't been there that long, and I don't know if anybody saw the opening round of the NCAA, but 93-92 against Michigan, that was a hell of a game. 90s points, 90s in the college game at all. That was awesome. That's where he's brought them. I wish him well, but you know, we bleed black and orange. That's what we do. So whoever the next guy comes in there, you know, you just wish him well. And you know, I don't know if you know this, but the Oklahoma State motto is, "This year's our year." Every year, that's our motto. So I wish him well. And Oklahoma State's a wonderful place for a couple of guys to come to. My email started filling up the next day from guys from this teammates thing that had college coaches that interviewed at NC, interviewed at Villanova, these things, and saying, hey man, these guys are available, as if I had some kind of power over it. So I don't know. I'm an Oklahoma Stater, so it doesn't matter who's at the Realm or who's wearing that uniform. Those are my guys. Yes, ma'am. Did you say Lynn or Linda? Linda. Yeah, just about everything she does is, but mashed potatoes. She does something with mashed potatoes, and I've watched her. Looked over
It's
her
a
shoulder.
secret ingredient.
It's a secret ingredient. It's
Potatoes.
salt and pepper and potatoes.
Really
I don't know
good
how she
potatoes.
does it, but I'm telling you, this is not a dramatization. We'll come in from the road, and there'll be an empty Coke bottle and a box of Arm & Hammer baking soda in the refrigerator, and the next thing you know, we're eating dinner. It's like, how in the hell does she do it? So, it's pretty amazing. If the girls were asking, the girls heard.
They'd say mashed potatoes.
They'd say mashed potatoes, but they like her chicken salad. They like pasta salad. They like everything you do, so it's real lucky.
He likes everything in one bowl. So like any kind of casserole where you can just,
It's all going to the same spot anyway. And if you got to wash dishes, why do that many things? You know. Amen. So the crazy thing, cooking. I know cooking is kind of sometimes thrown off. It's like, okay, well, dinner. But cooking, I don't know if we all understand the importance of a meal and a family sitting down to that meal. I can tell you this, when Sandy and I got divorced and we moved back home, we exchanged the children every day at 6 p.m. Every day for 16 years. Exchanged the kids at 6 p.m. I sat across the table from 3 children that I did not know the first time I sat down there. I'm looking at these sweet little faces and I'm going, I got to dig in. So how do you do it? Well, they're running all the time. Well, what I learned was dinner time. That's when because you got their attention and you're right there. You can't run from it. Nothing distracts you. So no phones at dinner time, no nothing. And this woman saw that importance of it and started making that the time we all look forward to every day, which was fantastic. So much to the fact that, you know, our middle child has babies of her own. And she was holding a new baby. They waited till she was holding her. And she said, are you ever going to tell me what the name of this child is? And they named it after her mother. Now, to have a split family and to name a child after what is the stepmom or what we call the bonus mom's mom, that's a hell of a statement right there. And I firmly believe it all started with the table, and then it started with that little girl inside that recognized those little girls, that they could communicate to somebody that wasn't a sneaky, hairy-legged boy that didn't know how they thought. So I think cooking and dinner table and this woman is so much more important to the fabric of our nation, more than we all think. I know that went from a little question to a big one. Yes, ma'am. You've been quiet the whole time.
I've always said that anything that I do right is because of how I was raised. I don't always do the right thing, but I know what the right thing is because of how I was raised. And I think that even though we had, you know, Thanksgiving at my house did not include the police. It was just turkey and dressing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Much different family life. But I do think as far as just being raised that to be responsible, being raised that our parents never treated any of the children any differently, no matter what happened to us in our adult lives. We were as praised and still had to do our chores just as much as the other siblings. So there's a grounding that comes with that I'm so grateful for, that I had nothing to do with. And I think it's there. And I think because we were raised in that same way, we ground each other and hopefully ground our children.
Yeah, I'd have to say, the thing when you said what you like best about it too, her folks. I just think how they're raised. My family, you weren't going to get a big head in our family. My mom would run across the lawn to hug me when I'd come home. And I would pick her up. She was so tiny. Pick her up and hug her. And in my ear, I could just say, oh, baby, you're so fat. That was our family. That was it. Okay, Mom, yeah, things have been going pretty good for us. You know, I've been eating a little bit. So, but we were always that way, just a constant check. But again, the thing she said, I'm the last of 6 kids. And if you ask my mom if she was proud of her child, she would always say, which one? She could be in an interview talking about Garth all day. And when they said anything, so you proud of your child? Which one? Because she was proud of all of them, because all the kids, 2 of them were in education, 1 in law enforcement. And it's funny how the 2 most important jobs we have on this planet are the least paid jobs on this planet. And then the ones we don't need are the highest paid ones. So our family was full of realness, humility, and every day you did a gut check and you saw your brothers go out into a world that was getting less nice and less nice every day, and their pay wasn't that great, but they did it because they loved it, and they loved those kids and they loved people. And that's what I love about our family, is we were all just raised that way. Everybody good? Thank you all very, very much. Appreciate it.